I made a video in the summer discussing about how Serie A would be the most exciting league this season across all of Europe, but nothing could have prepared me for what has transpired so far in the Serie A, where the top 6 teams are separated by 4 points. Milan could get involved in this, and there would be the top 7 separated by 5 points, and we've played 11 games so far. This league is seriously awesome. I love calcio football. I love the Serie A. You see just exciting big matches. I mean, we saw the Derby d'Italia 4-4. Yes, the defending was absolute atrocity in that game. But look at the standings here, people. I'm not even going to touch on the relegation because Monza, ever since Palladino has left, has been an atrocity. Venezia, I mean, it's a great fashion company. Shout out to my boy, Bohim Paulo, the captain, but they're not going to do anything. Lecce, not looking great. And then, Genoa, they signed Super Mario. He's going to have to be Superman. And Cagliari, they have to sack Davide Nicola and rehire him in February or March because that's the only way they're going to stay up as well, in my opinion. Como doing well. Parma, we know, have ballers. AS Roma. That's one touching point I want to have here. We're going to kind of discuss everything around Serie A so far this season. We've only had 11 games, so get your thoughts in the comments down below of Serie A football. Is it the most exciting league in the world right now? AS Roma are an atrocity. And I've talked about it in one of my shorts. Remember to go hit the notification bell, people, so you know when I drop my shorts. It's just they have no direction. They're panicking. It is exactly like Napoli last season. Napoli tried to do this. They tried to do that. They tried to do this. And nothing worked. And it's a similar pattern with AS Roma. We were so excited about the summer they had. They signed the likes of Nicola Sule, Dovbik, Saud Abdulhamid. I don't know why he doesn't get any minutes. Zelik, AS Roma, they have no direction. Now there's rumors that they're going to sack Juric after sacking De Rossi and hire who? Mancini? Did you see Mancini with Saudi Arabia? The guy was abysmal there. So AS Roma are in such a panic mode right now that they're going to be stuck in the mud. And with all that money spent, they're going to be in big trouble for the next couple of years. You spend that money because you want to have ambition of making it to the top 4. Well, you're just making it worse, and they're going to need an absolute miracle to make it even to European spots, AS Roma, because they lack in any identity on the field where there should be this fluid football. They should have the likes of Dovbik and Sule and Dybala cooking, but instead, I mean, it's pasta, but they didn't even cook the pasta in the water. They just gave it straight from the package. It's just, you just eat it, and it's just, ugh. And that's AS Roma right now. They are and garbage, and I don't see any positivity for them right now. Bologna are crazy because they got 3 wins, 6 draws, and 1 loss. Yes, the loss of Thiago Motta is key for them, but they've kind of picked up a little bit of form under Italiano. That's just the goal scoring is really lacking with that side. Joshua Zirkzee could be missing big time. Udinese, they always start off hot and then fade away. But it's all about the top 7 here with the Serie A. The top 7 is ridiculous because you have so many different storylines. One of the many storylines is Paulo Fonseca and how long he will last. And that is going to be, I'm going to give it 3 more weeks max. Because he's going to F up another game, he's going to bench Leao, he's going to get saved by somebody, and then he'll get himself another week at the job. Paulo Fonseca is not the manager. You keep on persisting with Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the 10 role. Stop it. Put Reinders, Fofana, put Pulisic in the 10 role, and then either put Chukwueze or somebody on the right, start Leao. This all comes down to the summer. They had such an abysmal summer. It's like banter era signings. Why are we going back to the likes of Luis Muriel? Even though Luis Muriel cooked at AC Milan, the guy was still a banter signing. We're back at that stage with AC Milan where they should be having Champions League football. Now, of course, it's a long season ahead. They're just such a hot and cold team. They have the talent to maybe make it to top 4. I don't think they can win the Scudetto, of course, but they should be doing a lot better. Fonseca doesn't know his best team. He doesn't know tactically what his best team is. And it's very intriguing to see how they develop over this season. Another team is Juventus, who they got the talent, and I feel like the injuries have kind of killed them in a way. We see some exciting football from Thiago Motta. We see the center backs pushing into midfield. We see the inverted fullback. We see Conceição cooking. Cabal, I think, has really been a good signing for them. Kalulu. But I wonder if the injuries and if Vlahovic isn't cooking in the forward line, who else is going to get the goals in this team? Yeah, they scored 4 goals against Inter, but that's because Inter defensively were an atrocity. But it just shows you they still haven't lost a game yet, Juventus, but they're getting way too many draws and only 7 goals conceded. The 2 most surprising teams is definitely Fiorentina and Lazio. What Paolo Dino and Baroni have done with these 2 sides, and Lazio especially, actually more Fiorentina than Lazio. Lazio are intriguing because they've been a sort of mess in the last couple of years. You have the Sarri and that whole debacle. Then you go with Baroni. What is he going to do? He did pretty well with Verona. But the football they're playing, it's exciting. You know, you see Isaacson balling out, Dia, Castellanos, a lot of good pieces that even Nuno Tavares on the left back, he's got one of the most assists in Europe. I mean, it's ridiculous what Baroni's doing with Lazio. For me, I don't think it's consistent, but it's exciting to see Lazio play some good football. It's been so dire from them. You know, with Sarri, yes, they would try and play the nice, attacking, pressing football, but it just wouldn't work out. Isaacson, for example, the dude was just left out of the Lazio side, didn't get any minutes, and this season, he's been really, really good. Now, can Lazio really contend for a Champions League spot? I don't think so. I just don't think they have the squad or the starting 11 to really compete with the rest, but at least they're playing good, exciting football. And that's a thing with Serie A football. So many teams play good football, but they don't get the notoriety. Yeah, Lazio, you know, we can talk about everything around the club, but they at least play fun football that a neutral will watch. But that's a team to watch out for. But Fiorentina, Palladino, these guys, I don't want to say it because it's always the case with Fiorentina. Oh, they start off well. You see some good, exciting football for 6 games in a row. You're like, ah, yes, Fiorentina, Viola, what are they cooking? And then they kind of just fade away, fade away. At least it's not a European final because they would lose it, or any Coppa Italia final, they would lose it. But they are playing some good football, and defensively, they are rock solid. This center back, the 19-year-old kid, Comuso, but Bove, Richardson, Moise Keane have been excellent signing. Like Moise Keane, he's about to match his season high tally in the Serie A, and it's only been 11 games. Like Moise Keane is rejuvenated under Palladino, and that's the coaching of Palladino. Yes, they had a rocky start, but since they got into gear, you can't stop them. What did they score? 6 past Verona, scored 5 past AS Roma. They are cooking right now, and it's just a matter of can they keep it up. They got the likes of Beltran, obviously Bove, who I think has really been a good signing, Golopani, and then obviously De Gea. De Gea, who was out of retirement for 1 year, comes back into football, and he might be the best signing in Serie A this season. Let me know your thoughts. Is De Gea the best signing in Serie A this season? Because he's been excellent, but it's another case of can they keep it up like Lazio throughout an entire season? It would be awesome to see Fiorentina because they play good football and they're just relentless. And defensively, they look a lot more solid than what they were under Italiano. But Fiorentina, can they get a Champions League spot? Maybe, but I would expect then Juventus and AC Milan to get those spots. But the top 3, could this be the title race? Could this be the title race this year, people, with Napoli, Inter, and Atalanta? I think with Inter, we know what we get, right? It's like a Nokia phone. You know it's going to be sustainable. It's going to last a couple years. You're not going to get the fancy photos, but Inter are just a solid team. Even though defensively, they don't look good compared to last year. They're giving up a lot of chances. They're very open at the back and some calamitous defending at times, but Inter, they have the know-how. They have the experience. They got the manager who finally won his first Scudetto last season. I think Inter will slowly kick into gear, and then it's going to be difficult to stop them. I mean, the 4-4 draw against Juventus, that's just an anomaly. It's just one game, a chaotic game. Maybe both teams were on ayahuasca or something, because that game made no sense. Inter will be fine. Lautaro finally getting his first goal in the San Siro for a very long time. And I think eventually they're going to win the Scudetto still. But it would be awesome to get a crazy title race because the one team I really want to win the Serie A is, of course, Atalanta. If Gasperini can win a Serie A title with the Europa League they did last season, he's one of the best Italian managers of this century. Yeah, I'm going to go there. Yes, he is, because what he is doing with Atalanta, consistently selling their best stars. Koopminders, Kulusevski, Coutinho Romero, Rasmus Højlund. Then he's like, okay, cool. You guys can go. You don't want to be part of Bergamo. You don't want to be in this beautiful city. We got a new stadium. It's renovated. It's beautiful. No, okay, you don't want to stay? Fine. Okay. Retegui, come on through. Come on through. And Retegui's got the top goal scorer of Serie A. That is just the coaching of Gasperini. If you give Gasperini time to tactically evaluate the opponent, you're screwed. You're screwed. Look what he did to Napoli. False 9, Lukman just turning into the Ballon d'Or-esque player that he is, and it's just, Atalanta are just such a fun watch. The back 5, the man-to-man pressing, different game, but it's always going to be the case with Atalanta. Can they keep this up? Don't mess up against a small team like, let's say, a Parma or Como. You can't do that if you're Atalanta. But if they keep this up, they can win the Serie A. Because they have so many attacking options, because Gasperini will turn dust into gold. That is the sort of coach he is. And I know he's not so fickle about, okay, let's get I want all the trophies. He's not that sort of manager. He's always about developing the players and playing exciting football. But if Atalanta can win this Serie A, my God, that would be one of the best stories of football this century, in my opinion. And the last team then is Napoli, who's just suffered a humiliating loss against Atalanta 3-0 at home. They got absolutely, even though it was a good game, I thought they still got outplayed in parts of the game, but it's still Conte. Conte won't be fazed by one game. What did they do after they lost 3-0 to Verona? They went on a crazy run. And I would kind of expect the same thing from Napoli. They got the players. I would expect a little bit more from Lukaku, but maybe it's just not the same Lukaku anymore. You know, Scott McSauce doing his thing, Billy Gilmore filling in the void, a Lobotka and Kvara, Di Lorenzo really having a renaissance of a season after having an abysmal one last year. Napoli will be okay. But I want to know what your thoughts are, people, in the comments down below. Will the Serie A be the most exciting league in the world? We have 3 teams involved in the title race. How many teams will be involved in the last spot for the Champions League? Who's going to be relegated? There is so many different storylines, and that's what makes this league, in my opinion, by far the most exciting in all of Europe because of the storylines and the teams involved. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and of course we'll be keeping up with the Serie A as we go on with this season. But have a beautiful day, stay safe in this crazy world. Until next time, adios.